Thankful Thursday!
Thankful Thursday! Woohoo! Welcome along. This is Yoga to Transform, and I'm Audrey.
And I'm Christina, and thanks so much for joining us. We really love having you be part of our community. Thank you.
Yeah, we just so love having people that are interested in developing their lives and using yoga and transforming all over the place.
Absolutely. Positive pops all over the place. Because yoga, like the whole practice of yoga is a journey towards really learning to live life in this fullness of your own vitality and reaching a state of like just being happy all the time, you know. And obviously we're humans, so you're going to have down days as well, but actually like,
and also in some ways actually just reducing the high. It sounds terrible, but reducing the highs and reducing the lows, because you actually just want to live in this really blissful state in the middle, without taking off those extremes, just living such a beautiful life.
Absolutely.
And one of the ways you can do that is by starting your days well, having a positive yoga morning. And that's what we've called this Thankful Thursday.
And what would a positive yoga morning be?
Well, from a physical point of view, it's really important to stretch.
Absolutely.
And move your muscles, and you've had, hopefully 8 to 9 hours sleep where you've just lain in bed and you haven't moved around very much. So actually just overnight, your muscles begin to, develop this, actually I've seen a terrible video, which you may want to look up, but we actually develop some fluffy stuff on our muscles overnight. And so actually we start to atrophy, and so just leaping out of bed, or not necessarily leaping, but stretching before you leap out of bed, having some stretches from a physical point of view gets you really going.
Absolutely. Now I start my mornings in a very routine way. I notice the difference on the day. So sometimes I have to travel and wake up early and kind of catch planes. So I'm not having my positive yoga morning. I'm having my normal morning like the rest of everybody else. And it's interesting, like I'll get to the airport and I'll see the queue of people and I'll be stressed out. I'm like, there's a queue of people and I just want to go. But if I'd actually woken up a little bit earlier and stuck with my routine of positive yoga morning. So for me, that looks like waking up a bit earlier and doing a guided meditation, which is my Course in Miracles lesson for the day. So I'm kind of anchoring in a reading from Course in Miracles and then the workbook lesson as a meditation. And then lying in bed and doing a few affirmations just around reminding myself the vision that I have for my life, right?
Okay.
So my positive yoga morning is meditation and affirmations.
Okay, so mine's much more practical really, because so I started with a bit of a stretch, and then I would usually do a few yoga practices, or a few yoga moves, maybe on my mat, or maybe just as I'm about to get in the shower or something. So I'm, twisting, maybe breathing, taking a few extra breaths. Sometimes it's much more formalized, and I'm actually working with you guys back maybe when we get to spring, or are we in spring already? No, but we might be by the time you see this. So I'm probably back to 2 mornings a week when I'm actually doing yoga with you guys in the morning at 7. And of course, I can't just roll out of bed and do yoga with you straight away. That just doesn't work for my body. So I've already been through the moves, maybe not for the same half an hour, but I would have probably spent 10 minutes warming up, feeling into my body, using my breath, making my mind focus on my body. And I think that's one of the things about using yoga, is that you're able to start the day with a positive mindset. You said going to the movies, to the airport and seeing the queue.
I get stressed out, whereas, it was interesting. There was a conversation and someone said, I said something about I do yoga, and she's like, I knew you did yoga. I was like, okay, tell me more. And she's like, well, you had that kind of yoga way about you. And I was like, what does that mean? And I think it was something along the lines of, you're so present with people, right? And then someone who overheard her say that, he said, and you're so stress-free, like nothing's a problem. You don't get worried about anything. You just can go with the flow, and kind of something something happens, you're like, oh yeah,
Oh well.
we can solve that.
Yeah, or if it's happened and that you can't go back and unhappen it, can you?
Exactly. So it kind of, the things don't tip me off the edge or over the edge, because of the fact that I guess I've set that kind of morning yoga to create a positive mindset, which then kind of sets the balance and the energy for the day.
That's right. So I mean, we're talking, we're not talking hours and hours. It can be, some yoga in the mornings for 5 minutes, for 15 minutes. I'm doing more of a practical body movement yoga. You're doing more of a meditation and a breath work and affirmations.
Yeah.
So the mix is there for you to choose something that makes you feel good. Now, I think that, people kind of go, oh, well, I prefer to do yoga at night and I can't fit it into my day. But I think there's so many people around who have shown that having a good morning practice actually sets you up for the day.
Absolutely. And you create your day in the morning, right? So
that's right. So if you're just rolling out of bed, throwing some clothes on, grabbing a coffee as you walk out the door because you're a bit late, you've started rushed, and that sets you up for a rushed day often.
Absolutely. And it's interesting because the practice of yoga is this practice of creating positive, healthy habits for your life. And we're in the middle of our flexibility coaching at the moment.
Yeah.
And we had our flexibility coaching session last Monday night, and the week kind of, one of the goals I took away from that was I'm going to try and change a habit, which was I'm going to start trying to use my left hand more, but so the morning then, like, how can you not fall into the habit of the same old daily routine as well, because the brain loves habits. But the positive morning yoga means
positive.
Do something different.
That's
as well.
right.
Yeah.
And it's a positive start to your day.
Yeah,
so what is something that you could do? Somebody say, oh, I can't get up half an hour earlier, but could you set your alarm for 5 minutes earlier?
Yep.
And maybe all you do in those 5 minutes is you just think, right, I've got those 5 minutes. I'm not getting out of bed, but I'm actually going to focus on breathing in and out of my nose and just take those 5 minutes of calm breathing. Already you've got a new habit and you haven't really had to do too much effort, because if you think the mornings are pretty hard for you, maybe you're thinking, oh, I just couldn't do that. Maybe you could lie in bed and breathe for 5 minutes.
or repeat your affirmations for three times, right? Because you're setting the course of your day. You're anchoring into
you're anchoring into your day.
You're anchoring into, and what you do today creates the rest of your life, right? So notice what you think and what you do when you wake up, and the extra 5 minutes that you give yourself just to repeat 3 really important affirmations for your life 3 times over, and then say thank you and get out of bed and move about your normal routine. That little change of habit, just try it for 7 days and then write it in the comments and tell us what happened.
Yeah, because we do say that you really need about 21 days to make a habit to stick, but that doesn't mean to say you shouldn't just start.
Exactly.
And if you start with 7 days, maybe you're making a comment, maybe you've, so one of the things we've asked our flexibility team on our coaching to do is to use some affirmations around, I'm living a flexible life, or I'm more flexible today than I was yesterday, or whatever it is. Those are the simple things that program your mind to grab hold of during the rest of the day. Oh, I'm living a more flexible life. Yes, I was able to go and reach across and do something, or pick that thing up from behind my chair or whatever. So those are the kind of things that we invite you to do so that you're having a positive yoga morning.
Absolutely. And then setting yourself up for a really great day. And positive yoga morning means don't wake up so early that you spend the rest of the day
sleepy,
exhausted and grumpy. So if you normally wake up at 7, try 6:55. And maybe then go back to 6:50. And I find that probably for me 6:25 is 6:26 actually, because I like the keeping numbers the same, is probably the earliest that I can do it and stay functional. So find the right
You've got to be
time.
functional.
Exactly, based on my bedtime and the amount of sleep that I need.
Yeah.
But you've got to listen to your own body. Some of us need more sleep, some of us need less sleep. So your positive yoga morning starts with the bedtime.
Yeah, I was going to say, so you maybe need to go to bed that 5 minutes early so that the 5 minutes in the morning doesn't seem so bad.
Exactly. Or actually, there's some other things that they teach in yoga that are really important in the morning to do that you might want to try or look up. One of them is tongue scraping. So basically, when you are during the night is when your organs are processing everything. So a lot of stuff comes out through the breath and out through the mouth. So the first thing you do is wake up and scrape your tongue to remove all the gunk. And I've been tongue scraping for a very long time, and even now I still am scraping gunk off my tongue in the morning when I wake up. So give it a go. And then after that, have kept a glass of water beside your bed so that the water is room temperature, and drink the glass of water. So you're rehydrating your body. So those are two things. The third thing, which is clearing out your nostrils. So actually kind of getting some water out there and clearing them out, because that's all really good for keeping your nose very clean and healthy, which what's the words? If you listen to some of our breathe and pranayama talks, you'll understand why that's really important.
Yeah. I'd have to say that I often use the breath, the nose clearing at night, so I sleep well. So that's often when I do that. But it's good to find those practical habits that you can add in. I'm a great one. You've heard me say this before probably, but I'm a great one for adding in something alongside something that you already do.
Yeah.
So that if we all wake up in the mornings, so you can add those things in. You've got your 5 minutes of your affirmations or your breathing, and then you're going to be making sure that your face, your mouth, your nose is clean and clear, ready for the day as well.
Absolutely. And I just love, you know what? You woke up.
Yeah, we've got to be thankful for that, don't we?
Exactly.
So there's a gratitude practice as well, which we talk a lot about as well. So being grateful that we're here for the next day. Yeah, great way to start the day.
Exactly. So you go away and see what you can do to start bringing a positive mindset into your mornings with yoga.
We look forward to hearing from you sometime.
Namaste.
Namaste.